All right, you know what? Next question. Anyway,
You know what, Eric? You know, Eric, you get the first dibs on this question right here.
I don't feel comfortable calling him Eric. I feel like we're prosecuting him. I don't like this.
All right, all right, man. All right. Anyway, how would you book a returning Charlotte Flair in 2025?
You book Charlotte Flair. Okay, now, all right. Look, Charlotte's been out for a good little while now, and there's no secret that Charlotte is one of my favorites. Now, the rumor is going around that she is booked to face Tiffany Stratton at WrestleMania in Vegas, obviously for the WWE Women's Championship. Here's the thing. Charlotte Flair, you got to earn it, love. I feel like you got to earn it. I'd love to put you in the championship mix. I would insert Charlotte Flair here. You got to earn it, love. You got to earn it. And I feel like where she should be at, I'd like to see her with that United States Championship.
Oh, hell no.
Yeah, why not?
Oh, hell no.
Why not? Okay.
Listen.
So here's the thing.
Okay.
You're so the issue, well, you could even put her back on Raw because the last person she had a match with was who? Asuka, and she got hurt, or was it Io Sky?
I honestly remember. I'm not gonna act like I remember right now because it's been a minute. I've actually although I don't like the fact that she's injured, I've enjoyed the Charlotte vacation from TV to some extent.
Hey, listen, I've enjoyed it too. I agree with you. Sometimes it can be a little overkill. I'd be the first to admit that.
A little.
But okay, a lot overkill. Stop twisting my fucking arm. But anyway,
that's what a wrist lock is, Eric.
Collar and elbow tie up. So I honestly, yeah. I mean, I don't want to see Tiffany Stratton lose this. I feel like if you put this on Tiffany Stratton for a good reason, she's had a great showing with Bayley not too long ago. This past SmackDown, I would honestly have her keep it even after Mania. Even if they do book it for Charlotte Flair to be her opponent at WrestleMania, I don't feel like Charlotte Flair should win.
No.
That's just my personal opinion.
Tag me in, Eric.
That sounds crazy. We're not passport bros, but go ahead.
What? What? Man,
I'm not tag me in. Matt, am I saying something wrong?
This is a wrestling podcast. I said tag me in to the conversation.
That sounds very passport.
Jesus Christ!
That was crazy. That was
I'm gonna just start talking anyway. Fuck it. You know what? Here's what I'm saying.
Bro-ish. I'm sorry.
I'll tell you.
What's good, Vaughn? What's good?
You know, I'm gonna do the opposite because if you watch this show historically, you know me and Eric don't see on Charlotte. I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm having Charlotte win the Rumble. Let's do this.
Really?
Charlotte win the Rumble. Yeah. I'm gonna tell you why.
Okay, I'm listening.
I am perfectly fine with them doing the era for era mirror match between Tiffany Stratton and Charlotte, because on most of WWE's television, we've had a lot of people from the mid 2010s period of WWE getting these storylines where they're either trying to reprove themselves to the audience or they're having a resurgence in momentum. AJ Styles, before he got hurt, was trying to show that he was still phenomenal after being floundered around with for a couple years. Shinsuke Nakamura is having the best presentation he's had since NXT on television right now, even though he's had to resort to a Muda gimmick. Charlotte dominated the 2010s and for a portion of the early 2020s was still a big factor of the women's division, right? A lot of people have been comparing Tiffany Stratton to people like Charlotte and Trish Stratus for years now, right?
Right.
Charlotte has an ego and historically has come in and stepped on a lot of different people in kayfabe to get back to the championship and the top spot she's been in. You put two of the most athletic women on the roster in a match against each other. Like growing up, we saw the comparisons of people like Dolph Ziggler to Mr. Perfect and John Morrison to Shawn Michaels. For some people, Tiffany Stratton would be that comparison to a Charlotte. Having that match at WrestleMania kind of sells itself just off the fact that they're very similar people with big egos and high complexes. So I'm okay with Charlotte winning the Rumble to do that match because right now there are other women's programs that have other legs to stand on that don't need the Rumble. And as far as how I'd book her going into that, I would have her main focus be Tiffany, but I would actually go a step further, and I would have Charlotte have been the person to have taken out Jade.
Good
I was
shit.
thinking that too.
Be-
I was thinking that along the lines of that too, because I know they wanted to do Charlotte and Jade. That's another big money match.
It's not even just that. You got to think of it from the perspective of what is Charlotte really going to do after if she beats Tiffany, which I do see happening. But let's say whether she wins or lose, that would be a backup storyline for her to have that would carry her through the summer. Because if you think about it, if she doesn't like the fact that Tiffany's at the top, she's not going to like all the competition that's coming either. There are a lot of stars that she hasn't been in the ring with that would pose a threat to her standing. Look at Jade. She hasn't been in the ring really with Bianca yet. Those two haven't touched. And if you have a person like Charlotte take out Jade and cause dissension between the big three, right, and have them thinking about turning on each other, figuring out who really attacked Jade, having the whole roster shook up, Charlotte once again makes herself the whole focus of the SmackDown Women's Division. Then you set up a situation like this. Imagine Charlotte and Bianca are fighting because Bianca realizes, yo, you took out one of my best friends. That's crazy. I'm not going to let that happen. You get Bianca and Charlotte the dream match, and in their first encounter, you have Jade come back and attack Bianca instead of Charlotte. If you have Jade come back and attack Bianca instead of Charlotte, basically saying, where were you when I needed you? You were caught up in other things. You weren't really my best friend if you let me go down like that, which in reality would just be her basically building to a storyline of, I've always been jealous of you and I was going to do this anyway, but this gave me the perfect opportunity. Now you get that dream match with Charlotte and Bianca, but you also properly set up Bianca and Jade, which is what a lot of people wanted to see as well. And with Naomi in between, being torn with the situation and everything, there's a lot of drama there you could work with. So I feel like it makes a lot of sense to have Charlotte be at the forefront of why the women's division in SmackDown is so chaotic, because the Queen is back.
Got you. Matt, hold on. Matt, your thoughts, and then after that, Dallas and JT.
I'm not gonna hold you. I was about to call Ty whole thought. Ty and Grizz was about to call both thoughts. Because one, I don't think Charlotte. Look. I don't think Charlotte needs a title. I don't think she needs the title chase. I just think she needs to wreck shit and be like how Ty explained it. Really full of herself, and her storyline is strictly her ego. She don't need no title. Charlotte is what? How many times have you won a title? It's like 15, 16? Like, come on, bro. We don't need another title from Charlotte. Like, why would she need to win? Why would she need to win a Rumble? Why do we need to legitimize Tiffany Stratton against Charlotte when she just beat Bayley on Friday clean? That doesn't make sense to me. And we all have been on record to say, out of the 4 horsewomen, Bayley was the complete package. She was the wrestler out of all of it. She was the workhorse. So if I'm going to put Charlotte in any boat for any title, it would have to be the IC title, because something needs to happen in that lane. Honestly, I don't need Charlotte on SmackDown because I feel like SmackDown is already loaded. If you really want to be honest, after Rhea wins the title against Liv, who's she feuding with?
I got people for that.
Make it make sense.
I
don't got, but that's you got people for that. But which one makes sense? Who legitimizes it?
Well, the argument you make of that, like, Rhea doesn't have to be legitimized anyway forward.
She has to be legitimized by it because of her beating horsewomen.
No, she's beaten Charlotte and Becky already. She doesn't need to go into a feud with Charlotte again to be legitimized.
But why do you feel like Tiffany Stratton needs to do?
I never said she had to be legitimized. I'm going off of the projected finish for WrestleMania, or the projected match for WrestleMania. I'm trying to tie the most realistic elements possible to make a storyline that could actually be satisfactory for the grand audience. Because the reality is if Charlotte's wrecking shit in the division, a lot of people are going to be elevated by that off rip. Most of us.
I don't think she should be wrecking shit. I think she should be starting shit. Not wrecking shit. It's a new era. She's not the same. She's not the top dog no more.
That's my point. That's actually my point. Like, the whole point is for Charlotte to want to reclaim her former glory. And yes, Charlotte has won many championships. A lot of us can kind of agree that there are a couple we could take out that we don't really like if we wanted to cut down the number. if you give us a championship reign worth watching, and you make Charlotte actually worth watching, she becomes an asset to the company that she hasn't been before. A lot of those title reigns were pushed upon us in a certain way. But if you have Charlotte, and she doesn't even have to hold the belt that long, mind you. But if you make a storyline that makes sense for it, and Charlotte is actually being a good heel champion with a track record behind her and a mean streak behind her and a line of bodies behind her, I don't think anyone's going to complain about that, especially when you consider the fact that when she loses it again, which could be to Tiffany, it could be to Bianca, it could be to somebody new, it works to the benefit of the company. You want productive title reigns, and you need to use established names to do it. Look at me, Matt. Well, you can't. Look at my mask. Do you think I want Charlotte to get any more championship reigns? No.
I don't know.
But if I got to make a
like
compromise, if I got to compromise to get what I want, I'm going to do it. All right, because this is about business. What did Dallas say?
But I don't want Tiffany versus Charlotte. I don't want Tiffany versus Charlotte. If you, I like the whole plan out that you had with Jade. That can tie into some shit. But I like that, and I like that as a mental mind game fuck versus her having to run for the title and like finagle her way to the title. I like her being that. In wrestling years, she's the vet. She's the old head, right? So
I agree. Yes, because they're 21.
Athletically, but that's what I'm saying. Athletically, she's not supposed to be keeping up with these people. I'd rather her be the smart one, because in the 4 horsewomen, she was technically the smart one out of the 4, right? I would like to tie into that. I would like for her to play like the Seth Rollins version of that in this era. Like, I don't need her being 5-star match Charlotte having all of these matches and winning titles and shit. I don't need that. We don't need that. I think we have surpassed that era of Charlotte Flair. She's no longer John Cena. If she's gonna be John Cena, she needs to be John Cena in the US title era.
I'm not asking
making stars.
Like, I understand where you're coming from, Matt, but I'm not asking her to be John Cena. I'm not asking her to be pushed down our throats like that. I'm asking her to be, for example, I'm asking her for her to be more like a short-term Randy Orton, like in Orton in 2021 with the WWE title, or say a JBL to a shorter degree, or what's a better champion that was short-term?
Rey Mysterio?
No, not that. Not that it didn't exist. I'm not so sure it didn't exist. But no, I feel you. Like, it's only for a short period of time. It's just to give a temporary boost, because Lord knows with the brand little that transfer window they got and everything. We don't even know what the rosters are going to be in a month or so. So that's why I'm saying, like, if you put that story in place, there's a number of people that could take her off that pedestal, and we can get back to what we like to see: new people shining. I'm just trying to use Charlotte for what she's worth at this point.
Respect. So, JT and Dallas, what's your thoughts on this? How would you book a Charlotte coming back into WWE in 2025?
I would book her like Griselda Blanco, since she was backstage looking like she was definitely moving them keys. We need Latina Charlotte Flair, okay? I need her to not only be booked strong, but I would pair her up with Andrade. Fuck it. We already know they a couple. So I would pair them up, and I'll get some people around her, maybe some flunkies. I don't want to call them flunkies, but you get what I'm saying.
Her own faction.
Give her her own faction.
I'm about to cook on my take.
Let her go ahead and run roughshop. And she don't necessarily need to win the WWE Women's Championship. I'm more so happy if she goes for one of those mid-card titles, because they need they need an established star for both of those titles to give it that oomph. You know what I'm saying? Like right now, no shade to Chelsea Green or to what's the other one?
Lyra Valkyria.
Valkyria. Like,
that's what needs it.
Lyra
Valkyria needs it more than anybody.
She can cook. She's great in the ring, but far as that star power, like, far as, okay, this person is known everywhere. You know what I'm saying? With Lyra, she has a lot of the overseas credit. To the U.S. people here in the U.S., she's just now gaining that traction. So I think, honestly, a Charlotte Flair going for the IC title or the U.S. women's title would be a great move for her, but book her like Griselda Blanco. Make her a goddamn godmother or something. Let her run rough shot. Let her call hits. Matter of fact, she ain't even got to talk much. Just give somebody the look, and next thing you know, somebody hurt backstage. I don't know. Take out Dakota Kai before her knees do it by herself. Something.
Oh shit.
Oh,
Shit.
All right, so
Bro.
a couple things. One, I disagree with you. Someone saying that Tiffany and Charlotte are the two most athletic women in the business when you have Bianca
That was
Belair.
Gris. That was Gris.
So we're
That was
gonna
definitely Gris.
we're just gonna put
Snitch.
that.
I
up.
did
I
not say
wasn't saying the most athletic. I was
You
saying
did.
two.
You did.
I was saying,
Yo,
two
timed him
two
out
of.
fast.
I was saying
Bro.
two of the most athletic, not the most. My bad.
Bro gave it up
apologize,
crazy.
bro.
So another thing is
Apologize, man.
when Charlotte won the 2020 Royal Rumble,
My bad, bro.
she went after the NXT Women's Championship, which helped elevate it after she won. So if she's going to go after Tiffany Stratton, do this. Let's go back a little bit to 1994. If anybody remembers the 1994 Royal Rumble, we had two co-winners. We had Bret Hart and we had Lex Luger. I would like to do the same thing for this.
Shit.
I would like to do the same thing for this Royal Rumble and
I
have
hated that.
Bianca and Charlotte win it both, and they can't decide. So then we go to Elimination Chamber. We get Charlotte versus Bianca. That's when Jade comes out and attacks Bianca, costing her a championship opportunity because basically she was saying you were holding me back the entire time and you weren't there when I needed you. Number two, another thing that we have to discuss is once Charlotte goes to Tiffany Stratton, she should lose to Tiffany Stratton. She should. I don't want to see I don't want to see no Charlotte in the bank again for the
all.
I don't want to see that
wants
again. But we would get the Bianca and Jade match with a purpose at WrestleMania. We still get Tiffany and Charlotte.
You shit, man, fans.
And then we get a long-term story to go along with it. Having said that, with people wanting Charlotte to win the Rumble, if people don't think Charlotte should win the Rumble, is Becky Lynch going to win it? Is it going to be Bianca Belair and then maybe Jade cost her the title at WrestleMania and causes her streak to go from 4-0 to 4-1? And we got a long-term feud. The thing is that with Charlotte Flair, there are so many possibilities and booking possibilities. Everybody on this panel gave great explanations, but in my opinion, two co-winners, have them face off at Elimination Chamber. And even if Charlotte doesn't win the Rumble, if somebody else wins it, like if Io wins the Rumble, Charlotte doesn't have to win the Rumble to get to Tiffany Stratton. She could win at Elimination Chamber.
Yeah.
So she doesn't necessarily have to win the Rumble. But Rhea's going to need an opponent. So I would suggest either Rhea versus Bianca or Rhea versus Io. And then Charlotte wins Elimination Chamber and goes after Tiffany Stratton. That way we get a new Royal Rumble winner. We don't get a repeat Rumble winner. Even if, like I said, Bianca or Charlotte, they both repeat Rumble winners if they do win a second time. I personally would like to see Io win the Rumble because we didn't really get Rhea and Io the way we should have. And I think this would be a great way to introduce that. Charlotte does not need to win the Royal Rumble.
Thank you.
She can win at Elimination Chamber. And another thing, she doesn't necessarily need the title because she is who she is. She's helped elevate the title. But the reason why Bianca and Charlotte are so close together is there's a line that Bianca said prior to SummerSlam 2023 when she told her, you have won the championship multiple times. I only had to do it once or twice to make my name known. You had to do it multiple times and we're on the same level. So if we're having that happen, it should be between either Bianca, Charlotte, or Io. And then my dark horse to win the Rumble, even though this is not going to happen. She's my homegirl. I talk to her every now and then. Meechin, I would definitely have her win something because she's due for a championship run. But that's my take on it.
I mess with it. You say something quick because I know JT didn't get a chance to speak.
No. I spoke.
If you want to legitimize this TNA merger, why not rock the boat and have somebody from that from that realm or NXT win it. Like I'm like if we're in the next era of building stars, legitimize these stars in these other brands that are not being talked about as much. And I feel like they need to be talked about, especially in the women's division. Because if you really want my honest opinion, NXT and TNA have the best women division. If you want my honest opinion,
That's a fact.
I think if you
So-
do that, the perfect person would be Roxanne Perez. Because to your point, there's never
yes,
been.
Ty.
No,
That's what I'm talking about, Ty.
I want to
Yes.
clarify when in my take. Although I dwelled on the idea of Charlotte being champion, I didn't say it was necessary because Tiffany can win it and is fine. Because I was more so thinking about Charlotte, Jade, and Bianca. Two, Charlotte is not the most athletic woman. I think of the most. And three, if Roxanne Perez were to win and face Rhea, I would actually want her to go the full distance and beat Rhea. I have my thoughts on Rhea. I feel like after slaughtering the women's division to the point where there is no world title division outside of Io and Liv Morgan, and there's a deeper intercontinental women's division than there is a world women's division. If you had somebody like Roxanne Perez beat Rhea and actually win the championship and fulfill more of the prodigy role that she's already done, especially with all the records she's been breaking, there's no better way to establish a top star than, say, another Rumble projection had. But yeah, I think that would make the most sense if you do an NXT winner.
I respect.
And shout out to Liv. Shout out to Liv for being
being
in that division and holding it down.
You guys have definitely cooked. Shout out to the chat, man. Shout out to Genesis. Shout out to GC. shout out to GC Vaughn in the chat as well. Oh my god! Of course, our boy Shot Business, and we got Dre in the building as well. I'm about to record him later in terms of our basketball podcast later. There's a lot to talk about on that end. But great takes from everybody all across the board. This was good. Quickly,